This is the Citroen ë-C4X. It's fully electric and it has a starting price of about 41,000 euros. Now, the WLTP claimed range of this is roughly 360 kilometers. And today we're going to take it from Dublin to Belfast and back. And we're going to use it in the real world and see what that drive is like with an EV with a range of about 360 kilometers. So let's start. Okay, so the key stats are how much range do we really have? And at the moment we've got 322 kilometer range at 91% battery. Now we'll talk about how long the journey is as we go, but they're just important figures to know, and I'm just going to quickly reset our trip computer so we can track how we're doing. Anyway, let's get started. So as we set sail, the first thing I'm going to do is put it in eco mode, and already my range increases to 338 kilometers, so that's definitely going to help things. However, today it is 22 degrees Celsius, and so it's quite hot, so I have the AC on because there's a few of us in the car, and I don't want to be sweating, and I'm going to do this as a real world, so I'm not going to be driving at 80 kilometers per hour. I did do that in a video where I went to Sligo, which you can watch up there, but that was painful. So today instead I'm going to drive as I would a combustion engine car, and I'm going to try and charge up along the way. So we'll be chatting about different infrastructure, the best of which is ordinarily Ionity. However, most of them seem to be plotted around Dublin, which means that I'll only be going past it on my way to Belfast as I leave Dublin, and I don't really need it. Now, the moment of truth is, how far am I going? If I click start route, it is about 165 kilometers. So we've got 335 now roughly. Let's get into it. All right, so we are just pulling off at Cashel Services. I know they've got some Tesla chargers here, and I'm hoping that they have an ESB one. We don't need it, we still have 65%, but we're going in for lunch anyway, so it would be no harm to get a little bit of a top up. Even though we didn't need a charge, we decided to plug in for about 20 minutes. We went from about 65 to 86%. Not a huge amount of charge, but we were sitting there anyway, so why not? So we're now about 200 kilometers into our journey, and we're soon going to arrive at our destination. And so far so good. It's been just like a diesel or a petrol car to drive. I suppose an interesting stat about this car is it's got a 50 kilowatt hour battery. So that's the size of the battery, and generally speaking, the larger the battery, the bigger the range. And 50 kilowatt hours in 2023 isn't huge, and actually this battery's been around for a long time in the French car group, I suppose you would call it. And we're averaging 15.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which actually is pretty efficient. And this car, due to the kind of sleek styling, it's very aerodynamic, which does help on our journey. So yeah, overall, so far so good. We're arriving with over 50% battery and over 170 kilometers to return. It's been lovely to drive. There's a little bit of massage seats. I have found one flaw, which is when I got a coffee, you can't actually use the drink holders here because the coffee cup is too wide and the base is too deep. But other than that, I've loved every minute of it, and it hasn't been all that different. As we arrived in Belfast, we did a little bit of water sports before heading back down towards Dublin. Alright, so we are back on the road on our way to Dublin. Now, door to door, it's about 200 kilometers, so it's not going to work. However, there's a couple of different options along the way. The most obvious ones to me are about 130 kilometers away from here. There is the City North Hotel. There's an Ionity charger just next to that, and I have 170 odd kilometer range, so that's very achievable. Or I can decide to push it that little bit more and go to the Applegreen in Ballymount, but that's about 160, 170 kilometers away, so I don't know if that's going to work. Anyway, we're going to sit back, we're going to take off the AC because we don't need it now, and we'll drive and we'll see where we end up and if we charge somewhere near where we get some dinner. So, good news, we're on our way back, again on the M1 Applegreen charger. I used to be jealous of all of those Tesla chargers over there, but now these Applegreen ones are a game changer. Plug them in, use your card. They are expensive. I think you're paying over 70 cents a kilowatt hour, so it's vastly more than at home, but it's very convenient right now. So I'm gonna go tap my card, and then I'm definitely not gonna have a Burger King. All right, 23%, and it is 9 o'clock, so we'll see what time it is and how far we charge. But now, due to the state of the charge, it should be a lot quicker than earlier. About more or less exactly a half an hour, and we've gone all the way up to 81%, which is absolutely perfect. I literally have just gone in there, had a salad, and then we're going out. Now, they're not cheap, 75 cents a kilowatt hour, which is quite a lot, but very, very handy. So now it means we can get back to Dublin, no stress. And actually it means this whole journey has been very little stress. The growing fast charger network in Ireland is making it a whole lot easier to do a trip like this in a single day. However, it's worth noting you pay a premium for this, as at home you could fully charge up the ë-C4X for about €10 on the night rate. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.